Have you ever believed you understood everything, only to realize you understood nothing? Kevin Sterling did. At 26, he built a data empire. At 28, he took it public. By 30, he was worth more than he could ever spend. His face appeared on the cover of a major magazine. The headline read, "This young man sees the future." And he did. Kevin built algorithms that could predict what people would buy, where they would go, and even how they would feel. To him, humans were patterns. Choices were variables. Life was just data. On a TED stage, wearing a perfect suit and a perfect smile, he once said, "Free will is an illusion. Every decision you make can be predicted." The audience applauded, because confidence sounds like truth. But life has a way of breaking the smartest people. In the simplest moments, one night in March, everything changed. Kevin was on a private jet, flying to Denver. At 30,000 feet, both engines failed. No warning, no logic, no data could save him. The plane crash-landed in a remote wilderness in Colorado. The pilot died instantly. Kevin survived, but barely. His left leg was shattered, his right arm torn open. He was trapped in his seat, bleeding alone in the dark. For hours, no one came. No system detected him. No algorithm predicted this moment, till someone did. A truck driver named Earl, 57 years old, grease-stained clothes, chewing tobacco. No degree, no titles, no data. He saw something on the side of the road, and he stopped. Earl pulled Kevin out of the wreckage with his bare hands. Used his own shirt to stop the bleeding. Drove 2 hours to the nearest hospital. The doctors later said, another 30 minutes, and he would have died. Kevin spent 3 months in recovery. But while his body slowly healed, his life quietly collapsed. His company's stock dropped. The board replaced him. His new title, founder advisor, a polite way of saying he no longer mattered. His fiancée left him with a note, "I thought I was marrying someone in control, but you couldn't even control your own plane." When Kevin walked out of the hospital, no one came to pick him up. His phone was full of calls, lawyers, recruiters, strangers. He turned it off. For the first time in his life, he didn't know what to do next. So he did something strange. He went to find the truck driver. Earl lived outside Denver, in a place barely called a town. Gas station, a small shop, a few trailers. His home was an old, worn-out trailer parked behind the station. "Come in," Earl said, like it was nothing. "Coffee's there. Wash the cup yourself." Kevin sat on a cheap plastic chair that almost collapsed under him, held a cup of bitter coffee that tasted like it had been burned twice. And for the first time in 30 years, he had no plan, no schedule, no prediction, no next move. Earl didn't talk much. Most days sounded like this. "You eat? Yeah. Good." And silence. But it wasn't awkward, because for the first time, Kevin wasn't being evaluated. In Silicon Valley, every word is measured. Every silence has meaning. Every moment is strategy. But here, silence was just silence. One night, Earl came home late. He sat down, unusually quiet. "What happened?" Kevin asked. Earl lit a cheap cigar, hands slightly shaking. "Saw a deer on the road," he said. "Got hit. Still alive. I had to put it down." Kevin paused and then said, "It's just a deer." Earl looked at him, not angry, not loud, just disappointed. "In your world," Earl said slowly, "everything is just a deer, just a person, just a home, just you have everything. So nothing matters to you." Then he added quietly, "I've been driving for 30 years. I've seen a lot of people who say just. They all end up alone." That night, something cracked. Because Kevin knew it was true. He had everything. But there was no one he could call at 3 a.m., no one who would stop for him, except one man, who had nothing to gain. In Kevin's world, what Earl did was inefficient. No return, no logic, no benefit. But in Earl's world, it was simple. You stop, because that's who you are. Kevin stayed for 3 weeks. No emails, no deals, no data. Just mornings, roads, coffee, and silence. The day before he left, Kevin asked, "Why did you save me?" Earl thought for a moment. "No reason," he said. "Did you see someone on the road? You stop?" Then he smiled slightly. My father taught me that. He used to say, you never know if the person on the roadside might become your teacher. But even if they don't, you still stop. Because you're not just saving them, you're deciding who you are. That night, Kevin couldn't sleep. Those words stayed with him. When he returned to Los Angeles, he didn't go back to tech. Instead, he did something no one understood. Bought a failing trucking company. Old trucks, heavy debt, no future. You've lost your mind, his former partner told him. Maybe he had. The first year, he lost $4 million. The second year, he broke even. The third year, something changed. Kevin installed systems in every truck, not to control drivers, not to optimize delivery, but to detect something else people in need. If a truck passed an accident or a broken down car, the system would alert the driver. Slow down, stop, help. He created a policy. If a driver stopped to help someone, they would be paid double for their time, plus a $500 bonus. This is bad business, his CFO said. Kevin replied, this is the only business I want. Years later, his company became one of the largest in the region. But his proudest achievement wasn't profit. It was a wall, covered in a map filled with red pins. Each pin marked a life someone had stopped for: stranded family, an elderly man with a heart attack, a car stuck in a snowstorm, even a deer rescued from a ditch. And beneath that map were simple words: you never know who will teach you something. At the company's annual gathering, Kevin moved the event from a luxury hotel to Earl's dusty roadside. 100 drivers, plastic chairs, bitter coffee. Kevin gave Earl a strange award, not a trophy. Piece of an old brake drum, engraved with 2 words: roadside human. Kevin stood up and said, I once believed people were variables, but data can tell you what people do. It's only a person can show you why it matters. Earl stood up, wiping his eyes. Then he said something no one forgot. When I stopped for Kevin, I thought I was helping him. But later, I realized he was there to teach me something too. So who is the teacher? Who is the student? He raised his coffee and said, we're all on the roadside. Sometimes you stop. Sometimes you're the one waiting. That's life. Kevin stood in the back, watching. He remembered who he used to be, a man who believed everything could be predicted. He was wrong, because people are not data. People are moments. People are choices. People are the ones who stop when they don't have to. And maybe the most important lesson in your life won't come from success or intelligence or control. It might come from someone standing on the side of the road, asking you one simple question: do you need help?